Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Whole End Talks. I am your host Scott Acton and I am joined by Aaron Acton today.
How you doing? You right?
Yeah, very good. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Jamie is away in Turkey getting his teeth done, so he's not with us today. Right, we'll get straight into FA Cup semi-finalists as
Yeah, it should.
go on.
Similar sort of game to Cardiff, wasn't it? Really, first half we sort of moved the ball slow, same sort of patterns, and not really opened them up. And then second half took our chances when they came. So very similar to Cardiff, and looking forward to a trip to Wembley.
Yeah, job well done, really, wasn't it? I mean, I don't think we played too bad in the first half. We had
No,
a couple of half chances, but it was just that final ball or final pass. Preston didn't really offer a lot, did they? Throughout, I had that half chance, that header in the first half, but that was about it.
yeah, they've had a good home form, didn't they? But they didn't really. They sat back in, didn't they? And second half didn't really see much of them. It was that first chance they had was sort of the only chance they sort of had in the game. I thought they defended quite well actually in spells. The two goals from obviously Rashford's, one's from a penalty, and the second one's just a well worked goal and easy finish really for Rashford, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, well worked. Obviously, went through the lines quite quick, didn't we, for the first goal?
Yeah.
In terms of obviously team selection, good to see that Emery went quite strong.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Obviously, he made changes in the second half and gave other people minutes, so I think needed minutes like Unana and stuff like that. Marlon, who I was surprised didn't start. I thought Marlon would actually start up front. So yeah, overall good day. Like I said, hopefully a successful trip to Wembley coming up.
Yeah. Before we obviously get on to Palace, we'll just good that Rashford got the two goals.
Yeah, I thought he actually played quite well actually. Normally he used to moan, didn't he, quite a lot in Man United for playing up front, didn't he? But that's the second time he's done it for us now, isn't he? But I actually thought he led the line quite well. A couple of times he got in front of the defender to hold the ball up quite well as well, which you don't normally see from him. His normal game where he's running in behind, Preston was sat quite deep for him to do that, but I thought he overall, and he got the two goals, and hopefully that'll kickstart on.
Yeah, should
Quick
have had
start for us.
well, shouldn't he? That when I think and Rodgers hit it straight at the defender. Um, yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised that he didn't start Watkins because obviously he was carrying a bit of a knock, but I suppose playing Rashford up front it means you can get Ramsey in as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually thought Ramsey had a good game as well, actually.
yeah, I thought he started well, went quiet, and then second half he come back in.
Yeah, say first half is probably one of our better players, wasn't he? Driving with the ball, making a lot of touches, and opening up a lot of chances for us in that first half. So I thought actually he's actually stepped his game up since Rashford's turned up. I think Ramsey.
Yeah, he's fit, probably makes a big difference. I mean,
Yeah,
Preston were obviously trying to, overload in the middle, but he kept managing to find quite a few spaces and taking on the arm turn, which was quite nice to see. That's when he's probably at his most effective.
yeah. I'm pleased for him actually. So he has had a lot of injuries, hasn't he? So now we've got someone else who can play out there, given him like a rotational role, might actually work quite well for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Any other standout players from the game?
no, I actually thought I watched it with the old man. I actually thought Cash had one of his better games. Actually, don't know what you thought. He seems to be better Cash when he's allowed to go forward. Normally, when he plays Digney, you see Cash sitting in as an inverted fullback, don't you?
Yeah,
And sort of Digney pushing on. But I always find Cash better when he's up and down that line. Kamara, I thought was good. Does what he always does. Konza, another solid performance. I was surprised. I thought Pau Torres would have started alongside Konza, just to give him minutes with the upcoming fixtures we got. But Tyro Mings ain't really put a foot wrong, is he? So you can't
Well,
really just say get out of the team.
and it's another clean sheet with that kind of back four.
You know, three clean sheets now in the last 4 games, isn't it? Something like
Something like that, or four. I think it's four clean sheets. I mean,
that.
um, I know it's Preston, so people obviously make that argument. Still got to keep the ball out of the net.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Torres might have got half hour or something like that along them lines, but I thought he actually
Yeah.
made a lot later than what I thought he was going to.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, obviously, what was it? Made three, didn't he? What 65th was it? 68th minute, something like
Yeah,
that. Obviously, Watkins come on and had two good chances, in my opinion. That first one, I thought he should have
both.
hit,
Yeah,
hit the target, and the second one, he's just dragged it wide.
yeah,
Um,
100.
but we got options, don't we? Like, if Watkins does miss chances, obviously we know that. But it does give us a different option with Rashford scoring two, playing up front. You've obviously got Marlon who can play up there. So if Watkins isn't performing, you got that option now, haven't you? So it's good decisions to be made.
Yeah, the bench was really strong on it, considering
Really strong, yeah.
Barkley and Disassi weren't even in the squad. So I know they kept touching it on commentary, but the squad depth did look really, really, really good.
Yeah, I think that's what we missed towards the end of last season, wasn't it? Squad depth. So
Yeah,
hopefully coming into the end of this season with obviously still Champions League, FA Cup, and Premier League fighting for top four, top five. With the depth that we've got, hopefully we have a better ending to what we did sort of last season.
yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers. Um, Obviously Preston done and dusted, job done. I mean, I think lose really for us because if we'd lost, it would have been you just lost to Preston, and a complete capitulation. And we beat Preston. It was you're expected to beat Preston, but anyway, job's done. Um, at the time of the draw, it was either Palace, Forest, and obviously City. Bournemouth hadn't played. Um, on paper, we've probably got the best draw. Just City and
Uh,
Forest.
yes, probably just the form that Forest are in, and then playing Man City is always going to be difficult, whether they're in a bad form or not. In it,
Yeah,
um, weird team Palace, don't they? They seem to absolutely beat us at their place, and we seem to actually do quite well against them at Villa Park. So hopefully we turn up. I think the Wembley pitch will probably suit us as well. It's quite a big pitch at Wembley, isn't it? So.
well,
Um,
yeah. I was listening to something earlier, and they were saying about that, but the dimensions aren't actually that much different. I just think it feels like a bigger pitch now.
Could be. But no, I reckon, yeah, out of the three teams that are left in it, I think I would have chose Palace, even though what was how much they beat us by the start of the season at 4-0.
They beat us four, didn't they? And five
Yeah.
season.
So towards the end of the season, so the last two results haven't been great, but hopefully we go up there, turn up, and move on to the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I in my head I was thinking not Palace, but I think if you'd got Forest, you would have been thinking, oh, not Forest. If you'd got City, you would definitely been thinking, oh, bloody hell, not City.
Yeah, I think Forest cause you problems with their counter attacking. Obviously, Hudson-Odoi, Alanya.
Yeah,
Um, they would cause us problem with their pace. Crystal Palace, if you sort of mark Eze out the game, that's probably their main threat done. So if we can keep him quiet on the day, then I think we have a good chance.
yeah. I think the last game that we played him in the league, obviously Wharton dictating, and every time they play us, everything that they seem to go forward, they seem to score all the time. But I think we're in a lot better place now than we were last time we played them.
Yeah, be a good game. Be an interesting game. See how he sets up and who he starts. As it is at the moment, I think pretty much everyone's back fit now, isn't it? Bar Barkley.
Yeah,
Obviously he'll be missing, but it'll be interesting to see who he actually plays in that FA Cup semi-final. Because you think he would go with what he would pick as his strongest team, wouldn't
yeah. I mean, were you surprised that McGinn didn't play yesterday or start? I know he came on.
you? No, not really. He does a lot of work, doesn't he, McGinn, when he plays? So I think he played both games with Scotland, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
But I actually thought Asensio was probably our quietest player yesterday.
Yeah, I don't. There wasn't. There was a couple of times. The one in the first half, Rogers got down the side, and he actually should have pulled it back to Asensio, but he tried to
Yeah,
roll it Rashford. Whereas, obviously, I think Rashford, pretty previous games, has pulled it back, and that's where he's getting his joy. Asensio.
yeah,
He was, yeah, he was quiet, but I mean, the first goal is him that picks up the loose ball, calms it down, just plays a nice little 5 yard pass to JJ.
yeah. Just nice and simple, isn't he? Simple.
Yeah,
Not saying he's a simple player, but he's best when he just keeps things simple.
yeah. It just makes it look easy, and I think sometimes, that's the hardest thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it is on the football pitch. Yeah.
Um, on that front, then, so we still saying we're going all the way?
I don't think we got a. I think we will. Yeah. You think we actually started the FA Cup campaign? Obviously, two Premier League teams. So, and obviously then we had Cardiff and Preston. So it's not been a hard run. But obviously we had two Premier League teams. But if
Yeah,
we turn up and play like we know we can, we should be in the FA Cup final. I think.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think it's all about obviously the day and the occasion, but like you said, I think if on paper we're a better team than Palace, and that's not me disrespecting them, but obviously we need to turn up and be 100% every player. If that's the case, then we will win. Um,
Yeah. So it should be a good atmosphere. Obviously, as you know, Villa fans are good and Palace Palace like to make some noise, so it'll be a good atmosphere, and hopefully the players can perform and get us to first FA Cup final. Was that 2015? We lost to Arsenal in the final, was it?
uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm glad it's at Wembley, not Selhurst Park, because I would have been at Selhurst Park. But obviously, only a few weeks to wait for that. Really, end of last weekend in April, so not too much
Yeah.
longer.
So at the time we're recording this, hasn't been selected what day. But I think we're looking at what because if we get through the Champions League, we play that week after, don't we?
Yeah,
I think potentially, I think we might play on the Saturday.
yeah.
Um,
I spoke to. Yeah, he was telling me that he thinks it's a Saturday. So
so
we'll have to wait and see. But obviously, we don't, as of like you said, as of recording, we don't actually know yet. So um, straight back into Premier League action. Though Brighton on a Wednesday, they obviously played. They were in the quarterfinal as well and lost the penalties on Forest against Forest. Um, feels like now a big game. I don't think we can afford to lose to any of these teams that are with us. I think obviously if we win, we'll go above Brighton. Um, what do you reckon? Tough game.
tough game. Like I said, I think it was the last podcast. There's a big month coming up. Obviously, if we lose in the FA Cup, Champions League, and lose these games against the team around us, it's going to end up being a poor season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I would probably, if you offered me it now, take a point. I think it's a game we can't lose um, to get into that top five, not to get into Europe, but to get into top five. Like you said, if we beat them, we go above them. So it's a match we always tend to do quite well against Brighton, don't we? So hopefully the trend continues. Would
yeah.
you?
Well, I was looking before we obviously come on. They're on a since they lost 7-0 to Forest, they haven't lost.
No.
So they're 8 unbeaten. Obviously, they lost on penalties at the weekend, but they beat Chelsea twice, Southampton, and they beat Bournemouth, Newcastle in the FA Cup, Fulham, drew with City. I mean, most of them teams are obviously in and around us, in and around them as well. So they're on a good run of form, but yeah, I think our wheels are turning now, and it's a bit like Emery's first season, where it's just go mode and
Yeah.
churning the results out. And listen, if they want to go and get top four or top five, then you can't afford to lose this game, or or Forest at the weekend. I think if you can take 4 points from Brighton and Forest, then that's not too bad.
Yeah, if we win Wednesday, I would say we should be looking at 6 points from them two games. But I say I'll be happy going there, getting a point. I think they're a lot, since the FA Cup, Dunk got injured, didn't he? Dunk's been out of the team since then, so they've had Webster and Van Heck at centre back, which I was looking at a Brighton forum there at the weekend, and they were saying that's been a big part of why the last sort of 7 or 8 games they've been really good defensively as well. Because Lewis Dunk ain't been in the team, but someone went off the weekend, didn't he? Is that Webster went off?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I listened to a couple of things today, and it didn't sound like the best of games.
No, it was quite. I watched it. It wasn't. Didn't looking at Brighton. They didn't play that well at all. All the Forest really, though. But Forest didn't start with their Hudson Odoi or Langer or Woodward, and Wood didn't start either. So
I mean, hopefully, um, they obviously played 120 minutes, so we say they might be tired, but they're all athletes by this point. You never know, but hopefully that has a bit of a negative effect, and we can take that to our advantage. Starting line.
but they played the Saturday, so they've had an extra day as well.
Yeah, true. Do you think, or how do you think it'll go on Wednesday?
Pretty similar to I think what he did the weekend. I think Rashford would start, but I think he'll start on the left, and I think he'll bring Watkins back in. I think he'll probably bring McGinn in for Asensio. So I think he'll make them changes. He'll keep Rodgers out. Rodgers on the right, McGinn, and Rashford behind Watkins with Tillemans, Kamara, Digne, Mings, Konza, Cash, and Emmy. You?
I could see Watkins coming back in for Ramsey. I don't think he'll drop Asensio. Uh,
It's a, I think it's a game that it suits McGinn, uh,
yeah, yeah, I know.
but I don't think you could drop Tillemans or Kamara.
No, neither of them will be dropped. I think McGinn, a bit of a challenge now for McGinn because I think Saturday or Sunday, sorry, was probably the first game where you might be thinking he'd be playing, but maybe the evolution of the squad. Maybe obviously he's still a massive part McGinn, but yeah, I take your point, but maybe Rodgers is behind Ollie then. 'Cause he's nowhere near effective out on the right.
No, he's not. I don't think you can. I wouldn't say drop Rashford. It wouldn't be dropping him, but after the 2 goals, you would think, oh, put him straight back in, let him go again. So that's why I think Rashford will start, but
Yeah, unless he keeps Rashford through the middle.
he could do.
I mean, we don't really obviously know what Ollie's injury is or how bad it is, but
But in his press conference for the FA Cup, I was pretty sure he said Watkins was back fully fit. So I was actually quite surprised not to see Watkins start the weekend. But
he's got a really good record against Brighton as well, Ollie, hasn't
yeah, he has. Yeah, really good record.
he? So maybe I don't know if I'll look at that, but maybe that'll come into play. I mean, either way, I think in the attacking positions, no matter who plays, we've obviously got a lot of options, and it's just about going and putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think I say that over the course of this month, everyone will be given minutes at some point.
Yeah,
So everybody contributing to this month. Hopefully, by the end of it, we're in an FA Cup final, fighting still in for a chance of top five to get us in the Champions League, and then obviously do our best against PSG. I think, apart from the PSG game, if we seem to win all the rest of them, I'll come out of this month with good positive
yeah.
month.
I mean, it is a big month. You want to be going into April and May with obviously your season. We're still starting to play on, and we've obviously, luckily enough, last year and Emery's first year, that we've actually still got loads to play for. And listen, if you had said at the start of the season we'll be in a quarter final of the Champions League and FA Cup semi final, and a few 4 or 5 points off the top four, you
Mm.
were in a great position. But like you said at the start, if you don't now carry it on, then it looks like a bit of a poor season. But it's resting in the balance. Hopefully, they can just go and, like I said, keep churning the results out, get the job done.
Yeah, and normally you look back at previous season, being 4 points behind the top four, you'd probably be fifth or sixth, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
But this season, where other teams have overperformed, that you wouldn't have thought so. Um, but I'm more confident in playing these teams. I'd rather play these teams around us towards the end of the season than play the lesser teams in the league.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the next two obviously feel quite big, don't they? Like I said, you're playing Brighton, who are seventh, Forest, a third.
Mm.
Uh, it feels like a big, big week, a big few days in terms of what the Premier League season looks like.
Yeah, you think we beat them? So we go above Brighton Wednesday if we beat them, and then we beat Forest. It'll look a lot better. And hopefully, I think we're 4 points behind your Champions League at the moment, top
Yeah,
four anyway. So if we get 6 points out of the next two games, hopefully we're within 1 or 2 points off.
yeah. I was just looking at the fixtures. Arsenal have got Fulham tomorrow, so you'd fancy Arsenal to obviously take points off Fulham. Bournemouth have got Ipswich. You'd fancy Bournemouth. Newcastle, Brentford. You don't know how Newcastle are going to be after the whole parade at the weekend and whatnot. Chelsea have got Tottenham, which is, London derby. You never know what's going to happen. And then obviously at the weekend, then so we've got Forest, um, Palace, Brighton. That'd be a good one. Bournemouth away to West Ham. Chelsea away to Brentford. Fulham have got Liverpool. City have got United. Um, So you'd think now teams will start dropping points, you know. Um,
Season, so like you say, playing these teams that are around us, if we look after ourselves, it should fall into hopefully.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I think we're starting to click into it now. I might be typical Villa, we're going to get smashed 3-0 or something Wednesday, but hopefully we'll just carry it on, keep clicking, get the job done, move on to Forest, and then I think if we win Wednesday, then Villa Park be bouncing Saturday.
Yeah, then obviously winning the next two sets us up well for obviously away to PSG in the first leg. So hopefully, I think beating Brighton Wednesday is important. It's an important game. I think to go above them as well will be going into Saturday with a lot of confidence against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, yeah, it does feel like a big one. What are you going for?
It's going to be close off 2-1 Villa.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm going to go for 1-0 Villa.
Another clean sheet.
Yeah, I would have gone 2-1, but I'll let you have it. Um, all right, yeah, cool. I think that'll probably do us on it there.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Um, we'll be back, probably me and you, in between Brighton and Forest.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully celebrate another win. But yeah, we're obviously, all of us lot are absolutely buzzing to be in the semi-final. Another trip to Wembley, good day out. And let's hope the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks, we're still buzzing come the end of it.
Touch wood, mate. Touch wood.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Perfect. Just yeah, for anyone new watching, just like, give us and subscribe. Any feedback's appreciated. We're actually going to give our first shout out to, I think, Aaron Morris, because he gave us some unbelievable comments on the last couple of videos and subscribed. So it was actually worth giving a shout out. Me and Jamie sent our love to you, we better send our regards to Jamie and hope that his teeth are going well. Uh, he'll be back after the Forest game
Forest game. Yeah.
with some nice pearly whites.
Hopefully with a nice tan as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, that'll do. We'll be back probably Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Um, yeah, up the Villa, and thanks for coming on us.
See you later. Up the Villa.
Have a good week, and let's play for 3 points against the Seagulls.